Hello, Sudha.
Hi, Magdi.
Hey.
I've developed this fear of being ignorant, listening. And I see this is coming from the me story, where I think I've created this image of if I understand there's only one reality, I should be behaving like this way. If I'm not behaving that way, my behavior points to being ignorant. There's lots of concepts and layers of how to be and how not to be. And so there's this, and I understand this fear is coming from believing to be a separate person. I mean, all this understanding is not stopping me from having this fear. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So you're being visited, right? I mean, so there is fear visiting you, fear meaning, thoughts and sensations you know, that lead to further worries and other thoughts and other sensations. So it's visiting you. And of course, we welcome the visitor because, the visitor is being sent by consciousness, right? I mean, so it's always consciousness visiting us, right? So we are welcoming, meaning we're not like saying, "Oh my God, what's a problem?" I mean, even that thought, if arises, "Oh my God, what is a problem?" Even that is also a visitor. So because our home is open, for God's messages, they appear to us because we are open to it, right? So. Uh, and Yeah, I mean, we believe the stories that the visitors come and share with us, that they're telling us stories from their voyages, their trips. And they traveled through, Persia, and they traveled through Mesopotamia, and they have stories to tell us. And so, in a way, like we sit around the fire and we listen to the stories. And oh my God, like, some of the stories are scary, right? I mean, yeah, it's a very subtle thing to sort of be experiencing that and not to sort of buying into it and remaining in the fear, like you're remaining entrapped in the fear and repeating it over and over and over. I mean, when a visitor leaves us, can we just go back to the kitchen and make a cup of tea and enjoy a cup of tea? Yeah, why not? I mean, right? I mean,
So that see the temporariness of these coming and going.
yeah, and to also not to see, besides their impermanence, not to see them like as a problem. They're just visitors. And yeah, I mean, fear has a tendency to grasp the body in a certain way where, okay, now we've got to do something because it's about survival, right? I mean, and yeah, so it's a mixed message. It's like, oh my God, I have to do something as my survival is at stake. At the same time, we've been visited so many times by these, merchants, by these, they're coming from Yemen, across the caravan, they crossed the Arabian desert, and they've got all these goods and these perfumes, and I don't know what they have, these dyes, and they were fascinating. So because we've seen it so many times, at some point, we're more spacious about it around the fear. We're more. It's like, okay, fine. It's not. It's not going to kill us. Um, so there is that. At the same time, of course, over and over we visit consciousness, meaning in this moment, where are all these stories? Where is the fear? In this moment, it's just awareness, just being, right? So that's a visit. That's a visit. That's also a visit. That's like God's visit or visit of reality. Just pure being. It's no time, no, not, it's not, the mind is just involved in the conversation, and the whole conversation is occurring in presence and being. There is peace, tranquility. So there is also that, it's available to us, right? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
especially once we have, like in your case, it's so many insights into just being in presence. So that's also available to you. So on one hand, it is being available and open to the visitors, to what's appearing, body, mind, sensation, thoughts, understanding their impermanence, and understanding that they're not really delivering reality or truth. And at the same time, there is also awareness, being aware that it is.
I think right this moment it's not that, but I think this is what I do when the fear comes. I fake. I'm inviting. I have my baseball bat behind my back. I'm inviting.
Welcome, I welcome you, but wait
I
to see,
want to
wait
get
to
rid
see
of you.
what I have in store for you, right?
I'm, I think that's
Yeah, yeah, I get it. Right. Yeah, it's interesting that you see that. Right. I mean, because in seeing it, there is a certain clarity.
I think it definitely there's a sense of separate being or storyline, whatever we want to call it, is trying to hold on to this image or something like this is what is, and not willing to let go, and hence the fear. And
Yeah.
even this thing that even the allowing, right? There's this fear that, oh, I'm using, there's this term spiritual bypass. Am I spiritual bypassing? And now it's, all concepts and words,
Yeah.
storylines.
Yeah. This, the mind is charlatan, knows how to dance on the stage, grabs our attention. Yeah, but our attention is presence.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so at the source, yes, there is the stage, there is the mind and all, but it's grabbing our attention, inviting us to believe in the story, and yeah, but at the same time, there is pure presence. Now, the thing is, how many times do you want to see the stage? How many times do you want to see the play that, okay, oh, you are this character and look what's happening to you? How many times do you want to see this and awaken from it that, oh, wait, I'm just perceiving, this, and I'm falling into the dream again and again. Um, yeah, it's to a certain extent. At some point, it's up to you to sort of say, okay, wait a minute.
If the consciousness slash reality is playing this game of ignorance,
You are that reality.
I am the only one with the freedom, free
You
will. It's
are that
consciousness.
you.
Yes.
Is there a consciousness outside of? Is there like a consciousness out there, in the sky, sort of floating around, and you are that. So don't try to wiggle your way around this.
Ah,
You are that. You are that awareness right now in this moment, in this Suda, body, mind, Maggie appearing within this awareness at zero distance. But you are that which is not phenomenal, which is not a thing. So Yeah, so we played a game of, okay, I'm this person and not that. I am this and not that. I am this and not that. I am this and not that. So the game of separation.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, I agree that the table is not a chair, a mountain is not a lake, but
Mhm.
all is the self, all is consciousness. I mean, we label the fact that we label mentally and conceptually is very useful, in the realm from a practical perspective, but not to take the labels and the concepts for reality. So the me, I am somebody is a concept, this body is Magdi. That's a concept. It's a name. A name is in Middle Eastern named or Indian names or South African names, etc. It's mind. It's okay. But not to take the label, the map for the territory. So you can like take the ocean and divide it into the Indian Ocean and the Pacific Ocean and so on. You can divide the realm in the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere. These are conceptual, uh, practical uh, uh, definitions and separations, not to take it for reality. Above all, the to define yourself as somebody. As soon as you buy into that, then there is somebody who's improving, and oh my goodness, now I'm not as successful as I was last week. Now I'm in peace. Next moment, I am not in peace. Yeah, all of all of these thoughts and beliefs and so on, they create certain sensations within the body mind. And then we have to solve these problems, right? Okay, so the way to solve these problems is first you have to embrace it. Say, okay, fine. This is a visitor. I'm being visited by mentation and sensation. To be open to it, to sort of welcome it, but not to define yourself via it. Oh my God, this is what's happening to me. This is me. This is what's happening to me. It's a little subtle to sort of perceive it, embrace it, and not to have it define you. At the same time, not to bypass it, not to say, okay, oh no, I am the self. No, you're experiencing this. The body is manifesting this, whatever sensations. And but when you go to the sensation, and it's not about denying it, you just find a field of energy, an energetic field happening within the body. And it's there, it's happening, it's a movement. And there is the awareness aspect. I'm not inventing a story. I'm just saying, like, if you do that, you'll find that there is that and there is the awareness aspect of it. And they're not two, they're not separate. And there may also be the thought of, my God, you need to save me, or I need to save myself. And there's imminent danger, imminent danger. And that creates a whole sensation, even more intense in the body mind. So, what do we do with that? It's interesting. It's not like there is an answer, one answer. It's an exploration. And this exploration includes embracing all what's happening, being gentle and tender with what's happening in the body mind, and at the same time inviting the wisdom. Because you cannot, without the wisdom, the mind is in alarm mode. In alarm mode, it's just it wants to do something to save the child, to save itself. But it's without the wisdom. With the wisdom, the understanding, meaning that about reality. It's always understanding is about reality.
Yeah, I think when there is wisdom, it's very clear the source is always the same. The reality is always one when there is wisdom. And in that moment of clarity, it's very clear. There's nothing to be afraid of. It's just coming and going. But oftentimes, as you said, the mind.
It's a flow, but in time, because we're always inviting the wisdom, or we're interested in truth. There is a shift that happens.
I think the key is like be truly, truly, truly open and inviting without any hidden agenda of
Absolutely, because
of it, or even in that moment knowing that, oh, in the past, by seeing that it's a single source, mind tries to formulate and tries to solve for, and I think whatever if Sudha, I just get caught up. I get it. I think it's very, 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 very clear when you're telling me right this moment. It's
yeah. Well, you can also tell yourself, there is no separation anywhere in the universe. It's conceptual, not real, not isn't real. I am not separate from the world. There's no separation. Your body is a universal being. Everything that you perceive, that you experience, is one field of awareness. It isn't somebody on one side aware of something on another side, the other side.
yes. Thank you.
Okay, good to see you, Sudha.
Thank you so much.
Mm.